Good morning. How's it going? Afternoon? Something like that. Oh no. I know what time it is. I lose all track of time when I'm arranging flowers. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. So today I thought it would be fun for us to make a vase arrangement. And I have some unusual things that are starting to come in bloom in the garden. And the last couple of years, I have not remembered to cut these flowers. And I'm always kind of sad. And I was like, oh, I missed when they were prime. I missed when they were beautiful. I need to make sure that I remember to do it. And I've got 4, maybe 5 different colors of them. And so these are Tritoma. All right. They look like this. Aren't those pretty? This is the orange ones. I have green ones, I have yellow ones, and I have a peach one. I might have another color. Not really sure. Okay. So we're going to use the Tritoma today. They grow in the garden. They also are a plant that has an apical dominance, because look at, they bloom from the bottom to the top, unlike Liatris that bloom from the top down. Interesting side note about that. My friend Jay Fitzgerald at the University of Nebraska, a horticulture department in Lincoln, was the one who hybridized Liatris for growth as a cut flower. It used to grow as a weed in Nebraska. I'm extremely allergic to the weed that was Liatris, but I'm not allergic to Liatris. And so he was the one who hybridized it. But just an interesting note about Liatris is that it blooms from the top down, not from the bottom to the top. Okay, but the Tritoma do that. So we are going to do Tritoma today in this vase. And we've got some other pretty things to include along with that. I think that we will include a couple of Hosta leaves. Now, I love this vase. So what I want to tell you about, again, too, we've talked many times about vases. And this vase flares out, okay? Which means that I'm going to need more flowers to fill it in. I'm also it's going to run out of water faster because it's very narrow at the bottom, okay? And when I put in my Tritoma stems, look at these Tritoma stems. Look at that. There's my finger. Bigger than my finger, okay? Big, fat Tritoma stems. When I put them in here, they're going to displace a lot of water, okay? As opposed to a vase that might look like this, okay? Look, it's a reverse of that one. This one's tapered towards the bottom. This one's tapered towards the top. Less flowers gathered, pushed together. More flowers falling out and opening, which means more flowers in this vase, less flowers in this vase. Just a fun little thing to remember, okay, when you're doing that. Also, if you get a vase like this, okay, very common little rose vase from, that we get from the florist or something. But again, tapered neck, bigger expanse at the bottom. So that tapered neck means less flowers. Okay. Little vase lesson. My grandpa used to say, "You got a nice vase," and I'd say, "Oh, that's a nice vase," and then he'd grab my cheeks and he'd go, "You have a nice vase too." So yeah, there's that. Funny. All right. So we're going to use a couple of our Hosta leaves. And you know what? I'm going to group them on one side. I'm not going to put them on opposite sides. They're going to stay on one side together. Okay. Then we are going to use a little bit of our 9 bark, because that 9 bark is going to bring in, and look at that, my 9 bark. I've got one straight piece and one piece that wants to splay out like that. So I'm going to use them right here. Sorry, I should have worn a pink shirt or something today. But so then there, this guy's going to go this way, and this guy's going to go in the middle like that, okay? And so I'm just going to cut it down here, but I'm just going to remove anything that's going to fall below the water line. So look at how it comes out this way. And then in the middle, like that. Where are you going to stay? You're not going to stay there for me, are you? No, I'm going to have to rearrange him later. Okay, I always kind of keep track of something like that because I really want him facing the other direction. Although if I spin it around, look at it's okay this way too. So yeah, but I just want him to be in the middle of the arrangement rather than laying off to the side. I am going to use a piece of scented geranium. This is my favorite scented geranium. It actually is citronella. This is the citronella variety. And so this smells really good. smells like citronella. And you know, I love the smell of this. It smells like geranium to me and smells like citronella. I'm thinking about doing a vodka with this. Will it taste like bug spray? Maybe. But that's what Flower Cocktail Hour is all about, is to about bug spray. That sometimes can be true. Yeah. But no. I mean, you know, I want to try out something new and try something different. So then look at these guys. This Hosta has leaves that are attached to the bloom. And so that's going to be pretty in here too. So I like that little variegatedness inside there. Do I have another one of those leaves in here? I thought when I was cutting this morning, I cut another one that had a leaf like that. There it is. I remembered well. I also, look at this. So this is another scented geranium that I have that I just love. And I think it's a very pretty scented geranium and looks really well. But I had moved it because it was, Craig got these for me. He wintered them over for me last year. I got this one last year and I loved it. It has, typically the leaf has a black center, like a little black heart on it. But I, silly enough, put that back in the center, put it in the shade. And I was looking at it this morning and I was like, you know what? The black heart is not there anymore. It's gone. And I think it's because I had it in the shade. So I moved it to a sunnier location. Sorry, there's cottonwood, little fuzzballs on all this stuff. And so, you know, there's that. But I want to get that little black heart. The other thing I love is, look at, as they age, they get like a little red edge on them. Isn't that pretty? Oh, love that. And so somebody should make a permanent geranium that looks like this with the dark, deep heart coloration and then those red edges on the bottom ones. That would be so pretty. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay, in my bucket here, the last of the year, sad to say, yellow. I know it looks white, sorry. Yellow peony. It's the last one. It smells so good. And he's closed up a little bit because I picked him this morning. He's going to be the last thing I put in here because I don't want him to fall apart. He's going to fall apart in a day or two because yellow peony don't last as long. This is a great Ito peony. I love my yellow peonies. They're wonderful. Just short cycle. That's all there is to it. But yeah, so then I'm going to add my Tritoma. There's probably about 8 or 10 of these on the plant. And so shorter. I wanted to use them in an arrangement so I could enjoy them in the house. Because where they are in the hottest part of the yard. Hottest part. And so I want to bring them in the house because I want to enjoy them. They like it where it's hot and steamy. And I'm going to add a little bit of my sage blossoms. My sage is blooming right now. Look at that. In a few days, weeks, something like that. The sage is going to, these are just going to be green spikes with little pods on them. And they will also be lovely for arranging. And I will grab them and bring them and put them in arrangements. But for right now, they have the little purple blooms on them. And the little purple blooms fall off. And then they dry. And so the other day I saw one on the table and I was like, I wonder what that tastes like. They taste like sage too. They're just adorable. Wonderful. I love them. And so our yellow peony. That's going to go right here in the middle of our geranium for some support next to that little sage. You know, look at it. It looks a little more yellow in there right now, doesn't it? So that's kind of good. I like that. Anybody else? Maybe one more of these. What do you think? I think so. I think that's really pretty. my Tritoma, my yellow peony, my sage. And one more Hosta bloom right there. What do you think of that one? I think that's awfully pretty. I think it's just beautiful. I think it's really fun. And it's befitting of the vase too. The vase holds up well to it. I think that the vase with that little, circle at the bottom of that pedestal is really just very nice. Very classic in nature, classical shape. My Chrysal Professional Glory. I used my Chrysal Professional 3 inside there. The Tritoma are from a bulb or a quorum. So you could use bulb food for those, and that would be really, really, really good and be helpful. I'm going to move this guy. See, I told you I wanted him in a specific spot, and I'm going to put him right there. That's where he needs to be. That's going to be the spot for him. But yeah, so you could also use bulb food for the Tritoma and also for the peony. Peony would also benefit from bulb food because anything that comes from a bulb or a quorum does well. So lilies, peonies, Tritoma, stock benefits from that. Iris, tulips, daffodils, hyacinth, of course, that are typical bulb plants that we think about. But anything that comes from a bulb is going to benefit from bulb food. And the nice thing about the Chrysal Professional 3 is it has a larger sugar content in it. There is more sugar in there that helps those flowers and makes them get bigger, stronger, make sure that the leaves stay green and that the flower blooms all the way to its full potential. I'm going to keep you posted. So watch our Instagram and Facebook account. Instagram is YouBloom and Facebook is Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom. But to see how this little guy progresses in the house, I think that they're probably going to stretch and all of those little blooms are going to open. That is destined for a nice close-up picture of that bloom because it's just something else. It's wild. So I hope you enjoyed our little vase today with our fun friends. The flower is Tritoma. And great flower for this arrangement. All right, until next time, keep having fun with flowers.